Hi, everybody. So I just wanted to touch on some generators and emergency power backup with all the fires and PSPS power events. I've had a lot of customers coming in for emergency backup generators. One of the first and most important things to consider is what type of generator do you need? Do you just want a regular generator that's going to run at full RPM and maybe just be for emergency backup only? Do you want a generator that's going to adjust its RPMs and be good on fuel? Or do you need a generator that adjusts its RPMs and also produces good, clean power for a TV or a computer? Your generators that just run at a full RPM, they're great for running a pump or a skill saw or something like that. But if you're running a TV or a computer, it's very important that you have that clean power. And you get that out of an inverter generator. So it's very important. The other thing to consider is how many volts do you need? Do you need to run just your household items, lights, computer, fridge? Those are typically all 110. If you needed to run your dryer or a well pump, those are typically going to be 220. So important things to consider before you go in for a generator. The other question I get a lot is how much power do I need to run my house or these certain things? So it's a real easy thing to figure out. Take a refrigerator, for example. You can open the door of your refrigerator. On your door is going to be a silver tag, and it's going to tell you that that refrigerator runs at 5 amps. So you can take that 5 amps, multiply it by the 110 volts, and you're now going to know that that refrigerator takes 550 watts to run. So you could run that with a 1,000 watt generator. If you wanted to run more than that, you would take each 75 watt light bulb and add that to the 550 watts. And whatever you come up with at the end, that's how many watts you need. So if you come up with 3,000 watts, then you need a 3,000 watt generator. Now, another thing that you can do is learn to manage your power. Managing your power is you might come up with 7,000 watts that you need to run your house. But during that time, you may only need to use your coffee maker once. Your refrigerator is only going to kick off every once in a while, and you don't need your lights all on at the same time. So you can learn, okay, I can go a 2,000 watt generator, and I know that I have 2,000 watts that I can use before I overload my generator. The other question that I get a lot is how do I hook the generator up to my house? The safest way is to call a local electrician and have them put in a separate breaker panel with a switch that will lock out the power. So when you plug your generator in, there's no chance of any power going back to the main line to hurt a PG&E worker or somebody that's working on the power lines. The other way that you can go is if you only need to run your refrigerator and a light, you can simply put it in a safe place in the backyard and run an extension cord into your refrigerator. Not as safe, but if the power was only going to be out for one day, you can easily do that. It is important to have your generator in an area where there's a lot of ventilation and an enclosed environment, and also make sure that there's no open windows by that generator. If you had it out on the side yard and your window was open, it's going to suck the exhaust fumes right in to your house. Very dangerous. A lot of the new generators come with CO2 sensors, but if it's outside and the CO2 is inside, it's not going to sense that and turn itself off. That's just there if somebody accidentally starts one in the garage or in the house, it will turn itself off. Let's see. The other thing to consider in your generator is your runtime and fuel usage. So if you just need to run your well pump and it's not going to be for a long time, you can just get your economy style generator that's going to run at its 5,500 RPMs the whole time, which is kind of your louder generator when you hear your neighbors and wah. It's going to go through a lot more gas. If you go to a generator that's got a voltage regulator on it, where you can set the voltage regulator and it will bring your RPMs down to just put out the amount of power that you need to use to run the lights or to run that refrigerator. That's going to take that runtime from 8 hours up to 14 hours, depending on which generator you have. But if you're going to have power outage for a week or 2 weeks like we did last year, it was pretty important to have a fuel efficient generator, as there was gas stations not able to pump fuel. It was quite the mess. So I believe I've covered the basics with generators. Clean power for TVs, there is no exception for that. I can't stress that enough. Even with a voltage regulator, it takes about a second for that generator to adjust its power. And if your RPMs change on that generator, the power output changes, which is very bad for a TV or a computer. Your inverter generator, it's always going to produce that right amount of power no matter where the RPMs are.